Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, August 3rd. Getting all the charts set up here. So let's jump in to crude. We had a short setup right at, or 1 second after 9 o'clock. And some back and forth, so you definitely should have gotten into that if you were watching and kind of focused like as you should have been at your start time, picking up nice 20 tick target 1 and a 31 tick target 2 for 51 ticks and POQ on one trade. If you didn't get that trade and your trade plan is to continue to trade, if you miss one, then you pick up the long at 69.36, targets of 10 and 16, and you're also one and done. So pretty much whichever way you traded it, Fruit Spotlight 9 o'clock mini session is done. Good morning, Miles. Unleaded gas. Actually come way back here, and your first trade is this short. Meandered about close to the entry for some period of time, so definitely a likely trade there. 77 ticks to target 2, 50 to target 1, whichever you're trading to, and stopping out at 2367. So done in just over 4 minutes. Actually, not quite 4 minutes because the setup was at 17 seconds after start time, but 4 minutes after our start time, and you're one and done. Assuming target 2, 77 ticks on target at 61 and 67 on the trailer. So 71 on the trailer for 148 ticks. That's a good morning. Good morning, Amando. Markets just opened. So you got to get in sync short, and now a long. If you got in sync with the short, the long is at 13 and just triggered in. If not, it's at 11. So the YM is currently long. And the Russell, too far, too fast this morning. Pound Aussie. Have a short setup at 88.48 on my chart. Traded day is also at 88.48. And it looks like went 8 ticks. So 0.8 of a pip beyond the entry on my chart. Trade today hasn't signaled it getting long yet, so nothing yet there. Let's see what soybeans. It looks like soybeans is not moving fast as it sometimes does. Yeah, the short trade is before our start time. Oh, that's 8:30. Excuse me, 9:30. And 8:30 Central is exchange time, but my charts are on Eastern, so 9:30 start time on my chart. And it looks like definitely not getting into that unless it comes back down. It looks like it touched it again at 8 seconds. And then again, so you're definitely in it and take the full loss. Then you pick up the long here that hit. Yeah, you were already by the entry, so then that hit target 1, so that comes off. No trade, and now you're in a short at 30.5. No, that's not a short yet. That's a potential short, but has not had the crossover to confirm yet. And the YM stopping and reversing to short and hitting target 1. So the short would have been at 97.97. Target at 7.54. And that's a trade off the 200 EMA. But 29 ticks to target 1. And so stop would be at 96, and it did just stop out. And okay, Kevin is canceling the short setup, so he never triggered, and these closes above the balance line cancel the trade. All right, the Russell with the SMA short trade. And the YM ticking into a new long trade, it looks like. And that is at 97. That may or may not have been tradable depending on how fast the move down was. And I don't know if we need that trade yet or not. And the Russell hitting money management stopped now at 067. And the Russell approaching. Yes, the Russell hit target 2, so that'll be a one and done on the Russell this morning. Noisy price action on the YM this morning. Now we have an SMA short. Entering at 759. $36 tick target. Stop at 801. And the Russell just stopped out at 2031. Yeah, 2031. 2032 it looks like. Yeah, 2031. Okay, soybeans had a short setup that didn't trigger and now has triggered into a long. Working on getting up to target 1. YM with a target 1 on the short. $36 ticks. That should definitely get you positive if you avoided that last long. If not, probably one more trade or a good trailer here. Good morning, Ron. Tim. Yeah, glad. I'm assuming you're looking. Are you looking at HO on the new Catapult Energies, Tim? Yeah, with what the movement I've been seeing in crude and unleaded, I would expect heating oil to be similar. I've got here is the crude chart for those. If you need another trade on the YM, got a long now. Looking back to 9 o'clock. And Trade Today now has a new short at 47 this time. Basically the same trade that we had on Spotlight, or off the same bar anyway. Or that 901, not as big a trade because it's only a one single bar setup. Money management at target 2. So taking profit at targets 2 and 3 at target 3. So we pick up 12 tick target 3, and 38 on the trailer from 62 is 24. 36 ticks this morning on 2 positions. And if you're doing the 2 trades, then you pick up another target 3 is 14 ticks on target and 1 on the trailer. So A nice morning for crude on the catapult. And good morning, Pamela. YM just being difficult this morning. You know, losing long and then a winning short again. That's at least our 6 trades on the YM. I'd have to go back and check that one closely to see if we got positive anywhere along in there. It's not going to be very much, if any. Okay, soybeans getting a target and a small tick. Then we looks like we got a might possibly have gotten into this short on soybeans. Came back right to the entry on the next bar. Just don't know what the timing was, whether you're able to get in it or not. But that's gotten target 1 and target 2 if you're in it, and that should be a POQ for soybeans. Note we are in the November contract on soybeans. Please do hit the like button if you feel like you're getting value from these live streams. It does help Troy's channel. And subscribe and hit the notifications bell to make sure you are notified if you want to get back to these on their regular schedule. Okay, on my pound Aussie chart, we triggered into that 48 earlier, but trade today has not triggered into the 47 that he's posted. So his data is running just a little bit higher than mine, it looks like. And now the YM is finally giving us a nice trailer. That might get us positive if we weren't already. Soybeans definitely getting us there. Target 1 trailer now. 2 targets in on this trade, so we should be positive there, assuming you did get executed on the entry. And target 3. Okay, questions this morning. We've got the pound Aussie yet. And basically that looks like about the only thing we've still got going. Let's take a look at the micro ES. And no trade there. That trade was before our start time. And actually canceled before it came back down and triggered in. Actually, it hit both the stop and target on the same, stop and the entry on the same bar. That's why it's not being tracked. Judging by the bars there, it hit the stop first. Looks like it went up and bounced off the 50 and then came back down. And the YM completing that trade, so that would be all for today on the YM. Yes, I do, Dan, and the reason for that is just because that's the latest strategy. The soybeans chart is on counterpunch, and I have got of course, the micro ES. This is a 5-minute chart, which is one of the reasons we don't do too much with it in here, because it's just being a 5-minute chart. It's just much slower. And I've got the crude catapult chart, but that's already gone POQ this morning. And we're coming up on the 10 a.m. session, so let's see what catapult does for the 10 a.m. session. Flat at the moment. I can look at putting up some different things. If you'd like to look at them, just let me know. And the trade a day short has been canceled again. About 5 minutes to 10 a.m. Well, for grins, let's take a look and see if... No, that's not the one I want. That's the one I want. Let's duplicate this one. No, I'm not going to focus solely on catapult. I certainly am going to continue doing spotlight. Spotlight went one and done very quickly on the energies this morning. That's why I'm taking a look at, also taking a look at catapult, and because we've got a number of people in here, I'm sure that just did the Catapult Energies boot camp this weekend. One second, I'll be right back with you. I'm going to take care of a trade. All right. Okay, the NinjaTrader chart settings for Catapult are in the calculator are the same as for TradeStation. The momentum bars in TradeStation, as Troy was mentioning, are equivalent to the NinjaTrader range bar. So a 20 range is a point for heating oil, or the 8 tick range for crude is an 8-cent momentum bar. NinjaTrader sizes the range bars by a number of ticks, whereas TradeStation uses the price movement. So eight ticks is 8 cents, and therefore it's an 8-cent momentum bar on TradeStation. It's an 8 tick range bar on NinjaTrader. The heating oil chart that I'm just putting up, this is Spotlight, but I will switch this over. Oh, and I know what's happening with this too. Oh, okay, yeah, it's just that far back. All right, so let's make this. And this is going to take a minute. Let's make this one Catapult. The chart pattern themselves are going to look very similar between Spotlight and Catapult. Catapult is just a different way of setting up trades. That's not what I wanted. And here's the... So heating oil looks like it had a very nice trade this morning. Although it started off a little bit rough. Oh no, it didn't start off. There you go. It started off with this short that did quite well. I have for right now. I haven't had time to test Catapult, and I'm working. I've been working with Spotlight ever since it came out originally, and had plenty of time to test that. All right, my pound Aussie stopped out and got a new one at 52.53. Looks like. All right, let's take a quick look back at. Okay, on crude, Catapult we took a quick loss. Let's see if that's 32. Yeah, that's a 30-second bar. So most likely you did get in that. Yeah, maybe not. And a new long here at 81. Ten ticks to target 2 at 91. Heating oil bouncing in, hitting money management, and coming back for a 1 tick break even, it looks like. And the pound Aussie getting short. All right. And it looks like crude and heating oil both are just kind of going sideways. All right, heating oil is starting to make some progress. There's money management stop at 108, 1088. And crude making its way into a long, hitting target 3 for 10 ticks, and its stop is at 69.79. And now it's taking off. Yes, my soybeans is counterpunch. Understand, I'm not trading all of these. I'm just these are just up here for teaching moments and to give other charts. I don't know, Craig. It's possible you could test with that, but I have not. Craig asking, do people use counterpunch chop indicator with catapult on ES, NQ, or YM? And that's certainly something to look at. Stop now to 69.84 on crude and 1094 on heating oil. Take a quick look back at here's the spotlight crude chart. So taking a short, stopping and reversing to long, hitting targets 1 and target 2. Most likely that would have gotten to POQ. That was 16 and 25 for 31. We would have gone, actually that would have been 27, 16, 14 and 23 for 37. And our risk was 20. Let's see, we didn't go full risk, so we went from 29 to here's where one that gets interesting. You stop and reverse would have been at 48. That's a major key level. So if you take it and make the adjustment, you've made an addition, a 5-tick adjustment total, but it's 51 at 51. It makes it 11 and 20. So only 31. But 51 to 29 would have been 22 or 44. So we are still negative. We get the same situation again, it's looking like. We triggered into a short, and we get a stop and reverse to long at 83 from the short at 58. So that is a 50-tick loss with on two positions. We do get a target 1 for 20 ticks. So we're down 63, down 43. And stopped out at 89 from 83. That's another 6. So we're down 37 right now on crude with one trade to actually no. That would have been, the short would have been the end of our session. So we would have been down 63. Now, could you have adjusted? Is there a way to avoid that one? Possibly. 20 moving average is at 55. Our entry was at 58. Yeah, four tick adjustment. That's a little large, but not terrible. And in this case, would have kept us out of the short. Would it? No, it looks like the short got down right to, nope, got down to 55. So would have kept us in. And then we would have gotten to the long. So down 13 and gotten to the long at being flat. So that would have been A1, gotten 22, and we would be POQ. Different ways to trade that. And the crude stopped out at 87 on Catapult. $10. This is messy. Took a full stop, break even, and actually that full stop would have been, if you're trading the 2 wins or 1 loss, that would have been a stop, would have been end of the session for heating oil. And unfortunately not gotten to this long trade, which I've got 10 there, and okay, that trade's still running. Picking up a nice trailer on there. No, I don't have an RB chart set up for Catapult at the moment. Oops, I need to take that off and put this back on unleaded. Looks like unleaded on the Spotlight. If you trade mini sessions, took the initial short stop out, then a second short to a stop and reverse. That's doing quite well. Has hit target 2. Now let's see. We had the heating oil up here that's doing quite well. Now, what time does the pit open, Claude? Or our typical start times for the energies are 9 a.m. The pit doesn't actually open that early, I don't believe. There's unleaded catapult. Back the 9 o'clock start this morning. Would be my typical trade plan start. Yeah, picked up basically the same trade that we got on unleaded this morning on Spotlight, or picked up trade right at open, as we did also on Spotlight. Yes, 20 range on unleaded. And Troy posting a picture of the catapult trader on crude oil this morning. And the Trade Hacking Club. And yeah, nice trailer on the trade this morning on unleaded. If you're trading 2, that one's a stop out and it would complete the session. So looking at 10 a.m. Gave you the 10 a.m. unleaded gave you a full stop out, which would halt the session. on the 2 win 1 loss, or if you're doing one and done. But the second trade there, going for a reasonably good trailer. So fairly successful this morning on unleaded. All right, that's unleaded on a lot of good trades there that we're not in our session, but also quite a bit of back and forth. And there's what Catapult looks like. Or I'm sorry, this is Spotlight. If you use a 10 a.m. session, you get a couple of losses and then a good winning long. You've got 96 ticks on the RB trailer. At 10 a.m. Now the problem is you would have taken this first loss. And yes, the second trade did well, but let's see, it went to 553 from the entry at 476. That looks like about seven. That's 77 ticks on my chart. What are you still are you trailing? Yeah, 78. Yeah, I'm 77 on mine. So yeah, 50, 53, 553 on the for the stop, and the entry was 76, 476. So yeah, 77 ticks on mine. And, one tick, a tick here and there is not at all unusual. Just different timing slightly. The problem with that, as I said, is you get in sync with this is a valid long trade because it hadn't triggered in at your start time. So it triggers in there and unfortunately gives you a full stop, probably only 11 ticks. But how many positions were you trading and what's your trade plan? I don't have a problem with trading at this point, but have you had time to test it yet? Oh, you have your chart set to not show any setups until right at 10 a.m. Okay, this setup was just what 18 seconds before 10 o'clock. So that's one of the reasons I don't set it right at the time, because that is absolutely a valid trade for 10 a.m. because it hasn't triggered. So yeah, that's just the way you have it set up. Yes, that is your first trade, but the way I would trade it, I would have had the loss, because I'm going to take that as a get in. It's not even a get in sync trade. It's a valid trade because it had not triggered at our start time. What POQ rules are you using, Claude? And are you? Okay, yeah. And that's the difference in the charts, is just the fact that you have yours set for 10 a.m. start. Is there have you tested something that you, or is that just the time you would like to start? And I'll get to your question in a minute. One moment, Craig. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and test, and it's the 10 a.m. mini session may very well be a good place to work. I haven't done testing. Troy's been doing some testing as he developed it, but I haven't had a chance to do any testing myself on it either, so I can't say one way or the other. Now, Craig asking the question that he's saying it's his understanding that we should sim trade and practice like we would on our trade plan. Obviously, definitely yes. But the second part of his question is it wrong to take practice trades outside of those parameters and time zones? If you're practicing, and yeah, as I say, it's not wrong, but you have to understand why you're taking those trades. Are you practicing to get your execution right, or are you just trading to be trading? Learning to execute properly is absolutely one of the ways to use the sim mode. I wouldn't do too much that way, because you want to be training yourself to trade under the same rules as you would for your trade plan. But yes, initially to get more repetitions, that's not a bad thing to do. I use Chart Trader primarily as my how I typically trade. I do keep a Superdome open for one-off kind of trades where I need to where I want to put on just a protective stop or something like that. I'll use the Superdome, or I'll actually go and change a particular stop in my the order tab of my control panel. So yeah, the dome is definitely useful, and there are times when I use it. I will use it if I'm having to if I have to leave a trade that for some reason is not being tracked by the calculator. I'll have the whatever indicator that we're trailing, and I'll set up my stop orders attached to that indicator and at whatever offset they need to be. That doesn't handle key level adjustments like the calculator indicator would, but it's a way for me to be able to step away and not just have to leave the trade set up as it is, especially if I have a trailer running. Pound Aussie hitting money management. Depending on how you trade this, that money management's, it looks like Let's see where that is. Money management's at 88.41. Target 1's at 43, so that's actually a 10 tick target. That would be an appropriate point to stop. Or I'm sorry, an appropriate point to take profit. You can either take profit there or go on to target 2, whichever is your choice, or what you've tested to. Trade today has target, it was the entry at 49, has target at 39. So looks like trade today traders would be in. Should have hit target 1 by now. Your money management was at 39. Okay, yeah, because of the 10 ticks. All right. Pound Aussie getting down close to target 2. Actually, looks like it's actually hit it. Target 2 at 37 on my chart. And missing it by 1 tick. Other questions this morning? And there is target 2 on Pound Aussie. Trade a day hit its target 1. So that will be this will be the POQ trade for trade a day, as well as for my chart. Well, no, not according to this chart, since it did trigger in the initial short and took a full stop out. And the Pound Aussie moving down now. All right. All right, folks. I'm gonna make a quick stop, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay. I will be right back again, folks. All right, I'm back. Any more questions? All right, folks. Well, I don't see any more questions unless my chat is disconnected. So I think it's about time to call it a morning. We've been here almost 2 hours. Eventful morning. You're most welcome, Dan. You too, Pamela. All right. Well, I will see everybody on tomorrow. Troy is doing our regular Wednesday session and crude oil inventory report at 10:30. Regular session at 9:30. Crude oil inventory at 10:30. So we'll see everybody tomorrow, and I will be in the room Thursday.